Hello and welcome to Spartan Chess Group. This is Feed Instructor Lawrence Tavagwisa. In this lesson, we're going to look at the importance of castling early in the opening. And for that, we're going to look at a game that was played in Barcelona 1989, Kasparov versus Valery Salov. Let's take a look. So the game started with knight f3, knight f6 was played, now c4, b6, knight c3, and black is going for the hedgehog setup with the pawns on a6 and e6 and b6 and d6. So c takes d4, knight takes, bishop b7. Of course, he was hitting on the e4 pawn, so queen e2 was played. Now knight b d7, and as black is busy developing queenside pieces, we see that white is already fighting for the center, and he wants to castle queenside after the move, kingside after the move g3. Now rook c8, bishop g2, and the king will be castled on the next move. So a6 and castles. So Kasparov castles early. However, on the other hand, his opponent is stuck with the king in the center, king still on e8, and the bishop is still on f8, as he was busy developing queenside pieces. So here he played queen c7, attacking the c4 pawn here. So b3 was played just to protect that pawn. Now e6. So the idea is a bit clear here. He wants to play bishop e7 and castle kingside. So Kasparov plays knight d5, attacking the queen, and this is a typical knight sacrifice in these kind of structures. So the idea is, if black were to take with the e pawn, white will just recapture back with the check, and this open fire will be very, very dangerous for black. So he didn't take, he played queen b8, now rook d1, g6, bishop g5, bishop g7, and before black castles, he wants to castle on the next move. So white now keeps his opponent busy and doesn't give him time to castle. So here now he just wins a pawn. As we can see, after knight takes b6, the rook is hanging on c8 here. So played rook d8. Now he's ready to castle. He wants to play castles now. So white plays e4, another move to delay black's castling. So e5 was played. Now bishop takes g7. This is already a mistake, but what else to do? So e takes on f6. So both bishops are now hanging. However, both bishops here on g7 and g2, they are both hanging. On the other hand, white's knight is also hanging here on b6. So bishop takes on f6. So if white were to take on g2, black will just recapture also on b6. But Kasparov here doesn't want his opponent to castle. He's already late and makes sure the king stays in the center with knight takes e6. So this is a crushing move by Garry Kasparov, and is already preventing castling. After this point here, black can no longer castle. It's now impossible for him to castle, as he has to parry all those threats. With knight takes e6, white is not only winning a pawn, but is also attacking the rook on d8. So black is pretty much forced to accept this sacrifice. F takes e6, now queen takes e6 check, and black blocks with the bishop on e7. So it seems like black is holding this position, but it's not so easy, because the bishop is still hanging. c5 was played, protecting the knight, and at the same time trying to open another file for the rook. So bishop went back to b7, now rook e1, threatening mate, queen c7, and the final crushing blow, c6. So already here we see that black cannot take the pawn with the queen because of queen takes c7 mate. So he took with the bishop takes, and the bishop gets pinned, rook c1, pinning the bishop, and he's threatening to take here on c6, because black cannot recapture because of the threat of mate. Here the bishop will be hanging, so rook d7 was played. This is already a desperate move to try and hold the position, but Kasparov just takes, and you cannot take with the bishop because the queen will be hanging. Now queen takes. He thought maybe you could exchange some queens here and play an endgame, but this is already lost. Queen c4 was played. Now attacking the bishop on c6. So the bishop went away. Now after queen c7, Kasparov is already showing that all the endgames here are bad for black. If we were to exchange the queens in this position, the position will simply be lost. It's technically lost. So rook f8, now queen b8, and this is just a nice finish by Kasparov, and the king never got any chance to castle, especially after the move knight d5. If you find the video instructive, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and leave some comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.